Well, here we are on Cricbuzz Comm Box, all set to try and look back at the first 10 overs of this innings. This is qualifier number 2, called an eliminator. I'm joined by Michael Vaughan as we quickly look back at what happened in the first 10 overs. 74 is what Bangalore have got to after being asked to bat first by Rajasthan Royals captain Sanju Samson. 74 for 1 is what Bangalore have got. Rajat Patidar once again picking up from where he left off in with his 100. 32 of 27. Patidar Du Plessis not striking it over 100. So while there's 9 wickets in hand, let me try and get the opinion of Michael Vaughan. It's always good to have a cushion, but very rare to see a side with 9 wickets in hand and players not really striking at more than 100, really.
Yeah, I mean, the pitch has got a bit of spice in it, a bit of bounce pace. I didn't see that in the test match that England played there a couple of years ago. I thought it was a beach, Ahmedabad. It's obviously worked out how to grow a bit of grass, which is good to see. Yeah, it's a bit of cat and mouse at the minute. I think RCB have done well. There was a bit of movement there. That bounce that is always difficult for a batsman to get used to. That drop catch is crucial. You don't want to be giving Patidar any kind of opportunity with the form that he's in. Boundaries are big, so I'm just wondering whether a batting unit, rather than always thinking about hitting the boundaries, can knock it into the gaps for twos and be a bit more wary of that. Yeah, at the minute it's a big semi-final, isn't it? It's a little bit like that. Neither team has really grabbed the game, but you just think these next 10 overs, if RCB can get to something like 170, I'm not too sure it's going to be easy to chase down.
Yeah, it certainly looks like that. This is what the platform they have, with plenty of batting to come for Bangalore. Now, at the point, say, Michael, when Kohli's wicket fell, and it was not the kind of shot that he'd be proud of, really. It was yes, a little extra bounce, but he almost wafted it into the hands of Sanju Samson to say, have you had your catching practice this afternoon? If not, here you go.
Yeah, he's not playing great. He doesn't look that bad, but you know, it's clear that he's not in any kind of confidence when he's just jabbing at a ball just outside of off. So I've seen him do that before in the past. That bit of extra bounce just did for him. But you know, to get Rajat Patidar out there quickly, as his stats show, when he's out there early, he does pretty well. So maybe that was a tactic from Virat's perspective: get him out there quickly. Yeah, Virat is always the talking point. He's a superstar, and his form and his high scoring will come back. But, you know, it's just not happening for him at the minute.
Well, I can tell you, we all know what happens during Cricbuzz Comm Box, apart from the fact that we have a nice little conversation. Wickets tend to fall. And in this case, it's Patidar Du Plessis, captain of RCB, who's gone. Maybe some people might look at it and say blessing in disguise, because Du Plessis really hadn't got going. He was striking at under 100, 25 of 27 deliveries for the captain. And if you have the likes of Glenn Maxwell, Dinesh Karthik in your lineup, you'd want them in there pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a good catch from our Ashwin at short third. Big kind of booming slog, if you like, and the top edge just managed to get caught. But I don't think it's a bad thing. You know, when you think of Glenn Maxwell, when you think of DK still to come, they've only got 9.2 overs now. So they've got a few balls left to try and maximise that scoring opportunity. And when you've got the likes of DK in great form, Maxwell, we know he's just a firecracker. I don't think it's a bad wicket to have lost.
Yeah, let's also remind you, Mahipal Lomro's in the team because he can strike a few big blows at the end. Shabazz can bat, and Wanindu Hasranga is a genuine all-rounder. So plenty of batting if they should choose to utilize it. Quick look at the bowling before we wrap up here on Cricbuzz Comm Box. It obviously looked as if the bowlers would have something they can get out of the surface. Bolt looked good early on. Prasidh Krishna with that wicket, the first wicket of Virat Kohli. Who to you, I mean, we talked of Ashwin and Chahal. Now that you've seen the wicket, who's the key for you to try and restrict them to, say, 160 if they could?
Oh, it's that the spin combinations. You know, Obed McCoy's just got the key wicket. You know, so there's something there for all the bowlers. Just a mention to Prasidh Krishna. I think he's bowled 3 overs, 1 for 14, 13 dot balls. And in the last game, he bowled 3.3 overs and got hit for 40. So that's a good character shown from his behalf. I think there's something there for all the bowlers. You know, I don't think it's ripping, but I just think there's a little bit there for the spinners. I think for the seamers, there's that extra bit of bounce. I think if you're in the inner circle, particularly square of the wicket, you've got to be ready for the catches. We've already seen one go down, but because of that extra bounce, when the players are kind of naturally, instinctively going to be playing the strokes, lots of balls are going to go square of the wicket in the air. So it wouldn't surprise me, Dave, we see one of those flying one-handed catches.
Fair enough.
Just ready for it.
I know we have a lot of fun with our predictions, but how much will, say, Bangalore's own targeted score change based on what they've seen out there?
Well, you've got to assess always. You've always got to assess while you're kind of in the game situation. But also, you don't want to put a number just in case you can get a few more. You've just got to play each over, try and get a partnership going. And then don't rely on a DK special at the end. He's got them to probably be on pars by playing incredibly. Don't rely on that. If I'm an RCB kind of player in this situation, just keep trying to go heavy, keep going to go hard, trying to maximise every ball and running between the wickets hard. As I keep saying, these boundaries are big, so you can nick quite a few twos on this outfield. So be active. I just think 170 plus is going to be a very, very hard score to chase.
And with Maxi out there, one thing's for sure, we've talked about Sanju Samson versus Vanindu Hasaranga, Maxwell versus Chahal.
Started.
The party has started. Maxwell versus Chahal. Whatever happens, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and now particularly, Ajay mentioned it in the pre-match about if he comes in after 10 overs and the game's set, he sometimes looks like he's bored. Well, it's not a foundation which is beyond the game. It's now on the knife edge. Can he produce a bit of magic with the game in the balance? Can he get them to that 170 plus? If he does, I think the RCB side will be delighted.
Well, it's going to be quite a contest in the last few overs. There's predictions, there's targets, so many things that might change. We'll see you at the end of the innings. For now, that's all we have on Cricbuzz Comm Box.